Hey, Joey, turn that down. Turn that down. Hey, guys, let me know if you can see me and hear me. You can still keep it up. It's just, like, not too loud. Joe's watching Bob's Burgers, and we love Bob's Burgers, so I don't want to, like, randomly bust out laughing while I want to lie with you guys, so. So I see we've got Braxton Robbins, which is a little bit early, which is totally fine. Hi, Isaac. I hope you're still in here. 2 Quacks and 5 Flex Farm. I saw you over at Old Reading. I'm glad that you came over here. Adrian, of course, is here because we love her, and she's awesome. Grab the popcorn. Hey, Jenny. How are you? Just let me know if you guys can see me. Perhaps. It says we're locked. There we go. I think you guys can see me now. I'm just checking on my, I'm going to watch myself on for a second just to make sure we're up. Okay. Hey there, Margie. How are you? Maybe we got a little bit of a delay this time. There's a little bit of like about a minute lag. Can't see, can't hear. Okay. That's good. That's good. We'd like to hear that. So how's everybody doing tonight? I was going to take tonight off and kind of just relax and not do a live, but I was in a couple other lives, and it always gets me jazzed up when you guys are doing live, so I figure why not jump on the bandwagon. And you'll notice it does say Marky and Ashley, and my better half is in the kitchen. I don't know if he's going to join me tonight. He said he might, but I think he's got a couple things to work on, so
I'll be over there.
he just said I'll be over there, so he knows I get a little weary going solo on things, but I try my best to be an adult. It just doesn't work sometimes. So what's everybody else got going on? I'm quite blurry. Is your lens straight? Oh, we'll see if that does any better. It could be like my lighting washes me out really bad too, I've noticed. I know, but Marky Mark. I will say hi to Josie for you, Jenny. Look.
What happened?
He's here.
I don't see anything.
Oh no, can you guys not see me? Uh-oh.
Oh, it's just delayed. It just, I don't see anything.
It's weird. Marky's got his phone showing us, and it doesn't show us. So I was like, what? Like, we're invisible. But we're not. We're here.
So Ashley just told me about this live, so
yeah,
I didn't get my makeup and ready and stuff. So
I know he's really upset. He didn't get to like pluck his
Yeah,
eyebrows or groom his beard.
You're just getting to see me full natural. And then I ran and rushed and ate a bunch of Christmas candy to get jazzed up for the live.
Need energy Snickers bars, which we have a ton of Christmas candy. Santa brought a whole lot, and I don't know why Santa did that because my pant line did not need the help.
Nope.
Yeah, he's here. He knows I get weary, so yeah. Our satellite internet does that, which hinders us from doing lives. Our lives are so choppy.
Yeah.
We try not to let it be choppy, and our internet is like not the best either. Country life. No. I mean, we cut down a ton of trees where the satellite goes to try to help with our signal. And then the guy stopped here. I guess they were doing an upgrade a couple months ago when we all went remote because the world decided to just stop turning for a little bit. And it was crazy. He stopped here first. He's like, you guys definitely use the most internet on your road. So we stopped here first for your update. And I didn't know whether I wanted to do like a fist pump or just be like, oh. But we were both working from home with 2 different VPNs, so that kind of makes a whole lot of sense.
Netflix, so.
Yeah, she was home, not homeschooling. She was like virtual, and it was some during summer. Hey, Evelyn, how are you? Glad to see you in here. And I will put this down, Adrian. It's a pencil, so I can't click it, but I can still play with it. So
you're just
I'm
jabbing your hand.
I know. I have like marks on my. You guys. Can you see? There's marks right there. Or I'm like doing that with the pencil. Probably not a good thing to do. So how's everybody doing tonight? You guys got any big plans for New Year's Eve tomorrow? We're fuddy duddies. We don't really do anything. I think we're going to go to church, actually.
I think our more exciting plans is the stimulus, waiting for that to take account. So we were trying to already talk about planning out, like, where are we going to use it? What animals?
More goats! More goat.
I don't know if we need more goats at the moment. We had a mishap if you saw Ashley's Facebook
Well,
this
yeah,
morning.
if you follow me on Facebook,
Mhm.
I had like
She
one
was
of my
panicking
worst.
this morning while I was online
so
for work.
bad. Yeah, it was like one of the worst things that, like, as a goat keeper, you can look out your window and see during breeding season. So what happened is I have Rosie, the cutest, tiniest little baby girl goat. She became a woman today, guys. She got into the buck pen, and from the moment I saw her and just started screaming, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and trying to find my boots. I didn't tell him what was happening. I was just screaming, oh my God, looking out the window. And hit the camera and went, and he bred her like 3 times before I even got to the fence. So someone's going to have to get a shot of Ludweiss because she is much too small to carry a kid to term safely for herself or the kid.
Yeah.
So it was really bad. It was, I know, Adrian. I was like, no. I was like, in my heart, I'm like, oh, my little girl's growing up.
Oh, did you say hi to Crazy Life Homestead already?
Oh, hey, Crazy Life Homestead.
Yeah.
You were over in Old Reading Farms live just a minute ago, if I remember correctly.
Down Nashville, Tennessee. Love that place.
Yeah. We haven't been there in years, though.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah, we go down to Gatlinburg every year with his side of the family during fall break, which is really fun, but...
And then Margie said, no plans here, just sitting home like always and crocheting.
That sounds good, though. I would love to learn to crochet.
Yeah, what did we do tonight? We went out to eat her favorite place, which is La Rosa's.
Yeah, it's kind of a regional restaurant here in Ohio. It's like a pizzeria.
And then at the end, they give you little peppermints, and she made me laugh. I was eating mine, so I started choking a little bit. And started coughing. And the problem was, with everything going on, I was more worried about coughing than actually breathing, because like everybody started looking because I was coughing.
Started screaming Rona.
Yeah.
Like, Rona.
So yeah, I was like, I would rather just stop breathing at the moment. I'd probably honestly get less attention too than if I'm just coughing. So
it's over in Ohio. So so for you guys that are new,
so I was trying to hold my coughs and basically turning red, eyes water, and everything.
Making this weird whistling noise, like after every cough, and I'm like, that's karma, because that was my mint. He ate my mint.
Yeah.
But we're like right on the Indiana-Ohio line, so we like actually went over to Ohio for dinner. So I was like looking for Mike DeWine, like, is he gonna come shut down the road?
Yeah.
But it was okay. 60 degrees at the moment.
Man, I'm jealous. It is colder than that here.
Here though, it got 45 degrees today, but it rained all day.
Yeah, it's swampy out there.
It was terrible.
And then Adrian says, I love how we all just spend like 3 hours together on Wednesdays.
We do. Oh, and everybody who usually sees Adrian in here, she's usually Farmstead Smith, but she's come under as Adrian Rose. So Adrian is fantastic at helping people with YouTube or just about anything that you need help with. So she started another channel called Adrian Rose. She's premiering at 6:18, I believe, tonight, Pacific Standard Time. So that'll be like
9:15.
9:18 our time. But it's on her new channel, and I think, what was it, 3 easy resolutions, New Year's resolutions for your YouTube channel, and I can't wait to watch it. So we will probably do like a hard stop at 9 o'clock so that I can go get ready to watch that. But if you guys haven't visited Adrian's page, is Adrian Rose, for the YouTube help, I implore you, go check it out, or you can go to her homestead page, which is Farmstead Smith, and check her out there, because she's got donkeys and bees, and she's just a lot of fun, and her lives are pretty awesome.
Sweet Pea Farm says, hey guys, I'm crocheting too.
Oh, that's so good.
Speaking of donkeys, we had the farrier out today.
Yeah, it was a very eventful day.
And
very eventful.
We were worried because one of our donkeys isn't so personable, but Ashley said no. I had to work, so I didn't get to go out and join her. But she said once she got into the stall, the farrier and everything, she actually did really well.
She didn't try it, like when I was catching her, to put a halter on, because even that is a feat. So for those of you that haven't watched some of the videos, like I've been positively reinforcing like the round pen for the goats feeding. So what I did is I just fed the goats and then lured them into the barn. So it's kind of like reversing that. But there were plenty of times I was trying to halter her. She could have given me both barrels and then some, and she was real easy to catch. So I was pleasantly surprised. And she didn't try to kill the farrier except for like twice.
And the farrier likes miniatures, so that was a win-win.
Yeah,
so.
He came in, he's like, I'm so glad you have minis now. He remembered my old mare, which made me kind of sad. I'm like, I miss horses. But yeah, we're really glad to have them.
Crazy Life Homestead says needs to learn to knit.
Yeah,
neither
me
one of
too.
us.
I know.
Yeah.
We do not.
Our daughter actually does a lot of
She
knitting.
sews.
She loves,
She's doing sewing.
That's
So
sewing. I should say.
she could probably learn knitting for like my mom, but
yeah, she actually made us a little teddy bear type thing for Christmas, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Which the dogs tried to destroy, but luckily Ashley caught just in time.
They tried to tear its head off.
So,
She says yes, it's 3 realistic resolutions, which is good because a lot of people make resolutions and goals that that are a little bit above reaching. Like realistic goals and expectations, I think, are key.
Yeah, I always try to get mine where I can grow to 6 foot, and that never happens.
It's just not going to happen.
I don't think I grow anymore.
5'8" the rest of his life.
Yeah. So.
That's all right. Then we're like, I love it.
It's true. True. You wear heels. All right, Margie says I crochet all the time.
What are you working on right now, Margie?
Is there anything
so,
special?
like, what are you crocheting?
We had a lady at our church that donated to our church a bunch of hats that she crocheted. Yeah. They were really cool. We actually like wearing them. I mean, they're pretty comfy.
She brings them to our church, and she just basically lets anybody have anything. But we do like the Appalachia
missions. Yeah.
So we take stuff down there whenever we get a whole truckload, which we have more than enough donations to go down. So his mom and dad will probably take it down.
Yeah, I think.
But they're super comfy, so.
Yeah.
I think like the more we look at it, the more we're like, we need to have better skills outside of like livestock and growing food, because if the world ends, like I'll be fed and I'll have animals, but I'm going to be naked. Yeah.
So and I don't have much hair on my head, so I need something to keep my hair warm.
Free stuff. We'll have to become nomadic and go south.
Adrian said, I need to call my farrier too. Makes face.
I know. It was one of those things. I called him yesterday, actually. I haven't had him out here since I had my paint mare, which was like 2-3 years ago. And like just sent him a text like, hey, do you do mini donkeys? Because I know a lot of farriers like in our areas will not do donkeys. They will only touch like horses or draft horses.
Is that because their hooves are a little different?
Yeah. They have, it's like a different trim because they're more conical down, whereas horses are like more splayed out and like rounded. So yeah, I actually texted him yesterday. He's like, well, I'm coming right through there the next day. So it worked out great because I go back to work next week. So I won't have time starting next week for a whole lot of things.
Yep.
Yeah. It is one of those things where you're just like, oh, I need to do this.
2 quacks and 5 clucks for me. I think he said.
Yeah, he said. I said hi to him.
Yeah.
I try to say hi to everybody as they come in. But yeah, so the video that you guys are going to see Friday, I'm kind of on the fence about shooting like a New Year's resolution or New Year's goal type thing tomorrow, or just like my 2 cents, because it's about worth a lot less than that. But my 2 cents on some of the things that I want to make changes on for 2020. And we have like a lot of goals and projects. We were out in our barn earlier today, or was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Yeah. My days are blurring. I work at a university, so I haven't been to work in like a week and a half. It was his first day back after a 6-day long weekend. And he was out there trying to show me, he's like, this is what I want to do with the loft. But whenever he has this vision of a project, I can't envision it, and then I get hateful, for lack of a better word. I'm like, I just don't know what you're talking about, and I can't see it. But it forces me to trust him, so that when it does start coming to fruition, it's like, oh, okay, I see what you were saying and why you did this. Make it up on the
fly, really. She doesn't know that.
Please don't tell me that. My barn is like my area, so I'm like, it has to be functional. I want to be able to see it.
Hey, Braxton Robbins.
Hi, Braxton Robbins. How are you?
And Crazy Life Homestead said 3 barrel racing horses, 2 blue heelers, and 1 old barn cat. We had 1 old barn cat until somebody dropped off kittens, and my daughter found them. It was like 5 cats. Yeah, so we got.
I'm not a cat person either.
But man, 3 barrel racing horses. Yeah, man, you got your hands.
Yeah.
Pretty full there. Full. Yeah. With those.
Yeah, I think the mare that we had gotten had been used for barrels.
She was pretty
without being told. She was sold as like bomb proof, and yeah, got her home not bomb proof. But I worked with her for like 2 years. It was just one of those things. I could do anything with her on the ground. You get in the saddle, and it was a completely different horse every single time you got on the saddle.
Margie here. She said, I just made a twin blanket for a vet for Easter.
Aww.
A person I know is doing adopt a veteran for Easter because they don't have family, so they don't get gifts.
Aww.
I've done one for a Christmas gift for a vet.
That's so sweet, Margie.
That's awesome.
That's so nice that you do that.
I
will
say,
people.
At first I thought she meant like a veterinarian because I'm stuck thinking on animals, but that's awesome.
He lives with me.
Definitely We have some family members that are vets, and
Yeah.
always appreciate people that help them out. So, Adrian, so sassy is great with the farrier, but Stuart is
I don't know, like
beep 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 beep.
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. The good thing about minis is like literally when Lola decided to rear and lunge, like I could just like grab her around the neck and like hold her. So I would really liken mini donkeys to like working with boar goats, because Dilly, my big boar doe, like she kicks and it moves about as hard as that miniature donkey does. So it makes sense. So what is Stuart? So like,
and she
does
also
Stuart
said,
kick or what?
There were only like 3 or 4 in the area that would touch donkeys. The first guy was like, not into it. I was not okay with him touching my animals.
Yeah, and good call for you, because you do have people that you let around your animals and you're like, other people may be cool with that, but I'm not cool with that, and it's your responsibility to make sure that your animals have a good experience.
Speaking of farriers, Sonny's place said, I found out my father-in-law was a farrier back in the day. He gave Matt a few of the blacksmithing tools he still had. That is awesome.
That's awesome. Our farrier does that too. So like he goes to like the horseshoe making contest, and like every time I look at his Facebook page, he's going somewhere new, which that's super awesome. What did you end up getting him for Christmas? Because I know you posted that in Facebook, like an interesting or useful gift to get for a blacksmith. So I'm curious, how did that all end up?
And continued with Adrian. She said he was like, I guess I'll do donkeys if they're good. Like they were new to me. I couldn't guarantee anything. We was so blah about it.
And here, like for him, like just work ethic wise, I'd have been like, yeah, I don't know anything about donkeys. I probably just wouldn't have gone with that.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah, but ours was.
Yeah, he loved doing miniature donkeys. So like his story was back when he was in farrier school, he had a buddy who had about 50 to 60 head of miniature donkeys that were never handled. They were just like thrown out in the field. And he would do their ferrying services, so he would have to go catch, halter, and trim all of their hooves by himself. That was like his trial by fire. But he handles them so well. He's like, I prefer miniature donkeys over anything. Like he was giddy when he came into my barn. He's like, I'm so excited you have miniature donkeys. I'm like, cool, me too. But he was really awesome with them.
So Braxton Robin says, do you guys watch Blue Cactus Dairy Goods?
I do. I don't think he does now. Mark is more like in the gunsmithing and boomstick genre.
Interesting story. I was working on a gun the other day. Someone gave me, and it was loaded.
Still loaded. It was black powder.
Yeah.
It was a black powder pistol, but it was still loaded. Like, and when we were over at his house, it was on Christmas, and he was like waving this thing around, like pointing it. Well, it was bad. Like, I'll just be real honest. There was a couple times I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's why. My gut was like, okay, be easy. So that was really. But yes, I do watch Blue Cactus Dairy Goods. Now, she's put out a couple videos. While I'm on break, I'm just like a total slob. I've been working like out in the, not a slob, but like I've been working out in the barn. I've been working on my house. I put up all of my Christmas decorations today. The trees went down because I'm a Scrooge. And I love her stuff. Like, if I thought that I could save money for one of her goats, I would do it. But it's transporting from Arizona, so that scares the crap out of me. But I love her. I love, love, love her. Do you watch them, Braxton Robinson? What is your favorite thing about Crystal and her family?
So Adrian said Stuart needs, let's see, needs more rough handling, which is fine. LOL. I mean, I don't love it, but he respects it more. It was Cray gravitated to my new favorite immediately, even though she is rough with them. Yeah, I'm not the best with the new hip terms. Somebody was saying I read on Facebook, I'm like, I have no clue what that is.
What does this mean?
My daughter talks to me. I'm just like, oh, what you just said, but we'll go with it.
It's a different language, and Mark's like,
the
whole time.
And even if she tells me what it means,
Adrian.
Even when she tells me what it means, about 10 minutes later, I forget. So
it's even more fun to watch him read it. Try to give like the proper
now
tone.
You're going to encourage them. You're going to do some of this hip talk, and I'm going to be able to put it together.
That made my night.
I think I need more chocolate too.
He liked and appreciated it. It's because he's a 5-year-old boy, a huge boy.
I could read that one. Thank goodness. Sunny's place.
He said Cray. I was like,
Yeah, I thought it said gray at first. All right, Sunny's place. I got him a detail attachment for his grinder, a flatter used to flatten steel, and some nice exotic wooden pieces for handles.
Cool.
Ooh, that's cool.
Very, very cool.
Interesting to see what he makes out of that.
Yeah.
So those,
well, he has videos every now and then of his metalworking,
that would be cool.
which is really fun. It's weird. It's like a weird ASMR for me to watch that because it's just different. It's pretty relaxing.
That's cool.
It's Adrian, okay, Adrian.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I only have 2 characters to work with.
Yeah, she is saying that Stuart likes it rough, Emma. That is exactly what she's saying.
Yep. That's true.
That's funny. Yeah, because like Lola, when I was getting her out, she doesn't lead very well, but I would just like, I know this sounds so bad, but like I would grab her butt, like the tuft of fur, like right on her tail head, because literally it's what I would do for a goat to kind of pressure and release, like pull, and then when she would go, I'd release to try to get her to figure out like, hey, I won't grab your butt real hard if you move forward. Like I'll release that pressure. She figured it out really quick. Donkeys are super smart. I knew they were smart from working at the vet, but just like having them here has been fantastic. Like they'll always be on my farm from now on. Yeah.
Hope so. Yeah, a couple of pregnant. So
yeah, well, and I'm terrible. I'm really trying to get them into the vet for confirmed pregnancies for ultrasound, because apparently blood tests aren't like 100% and all that good stuff. Or I would just draw blood on them in a month when I draw blood on my goats, because I can draw blood like, I don't want to say like a boss, but compared to where I started, I draw blood like a boss now on my goats. When I first started, I had one of my goat mentors come over. She's a vet tech at our veterinarian office, and she's fantastic. We get all of our like meat weathers from her for fair now that we're not in boars. But I called her up. I'm like, Kate, can you please come over? I want to draw blood today, but I want to do it myself. I want you to show me. And like literally when I did it, I'd have a syringe, needle and all, full of blood, and just like fist pump, like, yeah. And it was a little scary for him and Kate, who was like right next to me, either holding the goat. But I was enthusiastic, and I quit doing the fist pump with the needle after.
Thank goodness.
I
was for sure I was going to end up with the needle in me in some way or another. Oh, hey, the Tinker's wife.
Hey, the Tinker's
Glad
wife.
to have you tonight.
We missed this.
Oh, what's this one? So Adrian Rose said, but like sad story, but legit looking for advice. My farrier's kid had a super terrible car accident. Oh, sorry to hear that. The kid is alive, but was real injured. Happened in November, I think. But do you think waiting until the first week of the year to see if she's working again, or should I do something?
I don't think it's wrong to ask. And like you could probably start it out like, hey, I know that your family's been going through a whole lot, and I hate to ask, but are you still doing ferrying services? If not, that's totally cool. I already have a backup. But because you've always been the one that takes care of the animals, I wanted to make sure you were offered it first before I just went on.
She might be worried about losing customers.
Exactly. Like she might be worried about finances with a child in the hospital like that.
Yeah, definitely. So Sunny's place said, I talked to Matt into making a knife for a giveaway when we hit one. Oh, that's awesome. Yes. Yeah, we'll have to stay tuned. See how that turns out and see.
Josie.
And we'll be rooting for you to hit 1,000.
Josie. So. Yes, we will. Joe. Can you let old Bossy Boots out?
She's whining. She probably has a bone outside. She's so picky about her bones when they're outside. Like
she finds
she has separation anxiety,
and then throughout the day she wants to go back and visit them. That or she needs to poop.
Yep. Evelyn also said, Adrian, I'd call her. She may need the money for the medical bills.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
Right now,
it's tough, especially because of like everything just going on. And I hate to say this, but probably like ferrying services for those people that like have equines or donkeys, but like aren't 100% like the best at taking care. They'll cut costs where they can if they're not going to get rid of the animal. Sadly say farrier services for those that aren't as knowledgeable or don't really care that much about having the animal, that would be like the first thing that they might stop doing, which is really sad because that's, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
Adrian said, I always feel awkward with the farriers here because they're very laid back. I don't know what's appropriate.
You don't want to be out there and be like, man, this is Craig. You know? Ours is like, he's really outgoing. Mark's never seen him. Like, as far as Mark is concerned, like, our farrier's like a figment of my imagination, and the pose magically get done.
Someone's working when he comes.
Yeah, he's always doing something when my farrier comes over. But he's really outgoing, and like he'll talk to you like.
No,
yeah, he's not like that. He's super outgoing.
My family had growing up was sort of funny. He had a Harley he'd drive around, and
he's known for his bike.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of stuff hanging off of it. But he'd carry all of his blacksmithing / farrier tools in the Harley, like the little saddlebags on the side, which was cool.
Yeah, like mine comes with a truck and a trailer with all of his stuff like right there. And
he was a cool guy. He was awesome. But yeah, he put like it was a ridiculous amount of miles on the bike. Like Harley asked for it back, and they put it somewhere because it had like over 300,000 miles on it.
But his bike was
wild. Yeah, it's cool.
Like wild.
I ran into him the other day, and he was just still doing well. But actually, like he's got like his face has like a slight deformation. I want to say.
Well,
he got kicked.
He's been kicked.
Yeah, he got kicked in the face once, like pretty severely.
Many times.
Definitely a risky job, but he's actually a pretty cool guy. Had some neat stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very interesting to run into, and he's never met a stranger. So even if like he doesn't remember you, and you like come up and he'll talk to you like he's known you forever, which is really I can appreciate people like that because if people come up to me in public, I'm like, I'm terrible with names. I know faces. But I'm not good with names, which is amazing that I can like correlate names on YouTube with channels because in real life that like doesn't happen at all. Yeah, it's.
I'm bad for like affiliating people's faces with the wrong names, so I'll just call people random names. Like my daughter's school bus driver, like ran into him at the local gun shop and was like, "Hey, Kyle," and his name's Steve.
And he did not correct him.
Yeah,
he just kept going. He's like, "I ran into Kyle."
I had to apologize to him the next time.
Who are you talking about? He's like, Josie's bus driver. I'm like, his name is Steve.
Yeah. So
we're made for one another in that way.
I'm sure he's been called worse, so it's too bad.
Me too, Sunny. Or not Sunny,
Sunny's
Emma. Yeah,
Emma.
Is this stupid though? Like I started YouTube
by end of January.
And like I didn't have a goal. I was like, we're just gonna see where this goes. But like as I've progressed, especially like in the last 4 to 5 months, like I've become more goal oriented, not like putting it out there because like I always hate to say this is my goal because I don't want to set a goal and then fail publicly. I'm a prideful individual. Like I take a lot of pride in the results from the work that I put in. But like I would love to hit 1,000 by the end of January because that's when we started. I started January 20th of 2020, which really even with no expectations outside of chronicling what we do on our farm and our family, like especially for my daughter, when she gets older, she'll be able to go back and see these things. But it couldn't have come at a better time because while I like to be on my farm and I like being by myself a lot of the time, when I'm at work, I'm extremely social. Like I like to talk to people. So when we went to working from home, like YouTube was like that lifeline where I did not feel cut off. I felt very complete because I had everything going on here. But then I also had all this engagement in building new relationships and friendships. I will call them friendships because a lot of the people that frequent on my comments or even in our lives like we are now, like I consider them all to be friends. And that got me through a lot of 2020 until like we got to go back in the office. And even now there's like a quarter of the people that used to be there. It's like a ghost town. And he's still working from home. When are you guys even going back?
No, they said in the mid of next year.
Yeah, they keep pushing it further and further out.
Our work is pretty flexible to do that, but
yeah,
still crazy.
Evelyn, are you the same way? I'm glad.
Yeah, you're not alone. And so did Crazy Life Homestead said that they are.
I in the past did a lot of scrimshaw and would go to primitive era shows where we would dress up like pioneers basically, and I would sell scrimshaw on powder horns and all kinds of different materials. And people would have commissions with me, and outside of like texting them or sending them an email or a letter saying, hey, your powder horn is done, I'm going to be at this shoot, or this is the time, or I'm going to be holding a class here, if you want to meet, they would walk up to me and I know your face, but I don't know who you are. And I had a commission with them. So it's like, you're paying me money to do like a special artistic piece for you, and I know who you are by face, but not by name. So I'm
keep going up. I feel like at the end of the thing, I'm gonna be like that. I know. I have to get those like shirt holders, strap them down to my boxers or something. All right. So Hirian said, "I'm so excited for everyone for 2021. I think we all built such a connection, and they were just like so into everyone's lives here.
Yeah,
now.
It's fun. And it is like that on Wednesdays, like you said earlier. Like we just have 3 hours worth of like where we jump from live to live to live.
Yeah.
And I think he likes it because then I shut up long enough for him to like go do something else. And like I'm just on the computer kind of chit-chatting. Braxton Robbins, Weed 'em and Reap is the bomb.
Yeah, we watch a lot of them.
I watch them all the time. Like I'm having withdrawals because they haven't posted anything, obviously because of the holidays. And then when I found out that they sold Feline and Fiona, I was like, why didn't I send something to them and let them know I wanted one? But yeah, I have dreams of celebrity goats.
Adrian said, me too. It helped me so much. I can't believe it. I was talking about Homestead YouTube channels, and I think we work so well because we all kind of live in the middle of nowhere. We need people sometimes, and this is great because we don't have to see people but feel the same.
I totally agree because like when we went back in the office, people were like, it's so good to see people, and I'm like, we cool and all, but like I was cool staying home like in my garden on my lunch, and I stayed up on all my chores. Now, like, my weekends literally are chore fests, and then the filming kind of almost gets in the way where I'm like, I want to artistically scoop up this poop, but I want to just get it done, too, because I don't want to be in the barn all day long. But, yeah, anybody's got YouTube out there and does a channel, you know how that goes.
Yeah. So Crazy Life Homestead said, I ended my 2020 on a bad emotional run, losing of life times 2. That hurt. I'll be back online soon.
That's good. It's good to take a break, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, it's not good to push yourself, like, out when you need that inner reflection.
No, Ashley was feeling a lot of that with the Vlogmas, too. She was a little...
Well, it wasn't, like, lost. It was more like, why did I sign up for this torture?
Wore you out a bit.
Yeah, it's totally different, but, yeah.
And Emma said, I'm 173 shy of my goal. If I don't hit it by the end of January, it'll be February or March. I'm also shooting for watch hours by March.
Yeah, watch hours
though. Yep, those are hard to get.
Watch hours though. That's what these lives like really are good for. Outside of like really building like that community. That's like some people like just lives. There are some people like I hate to say this. There are some channels where I'm like, I love your lives, but like your videos don't do anything for me. And I think it's because of that connection. And I also have to think like, I wonder if my personality like in my lives transitions and translates in my videos, because I feel like my videos can get like super, I don't know, just mundane, like where I'm trying to make sure I'm giving all the information that I can and just throwing tidbits of my personality in there. So I don't know how that goes. I don't know how that's going, but I often think about it.
The Tinker's Wife said they were fun channels.
Yes,
about
they
Weed 'em and
are.
Reap. Yep,
they are. I love how she uses her animals to anthropomorphize. I think I said the word right, but like she builds her storylines on it, and I'm like, that is genius because people love cute animals. So if you build like a character and humanize them, like people just really seem to like latch on to their story.
And Braxton said Fiona was cute. She said that was sad.
It was sad, but I was like, what is them?
Oh, and then Aka,
hello from Russia.
Hello.
How are you? What time is it there? If you don't mind me asking, just because I love when people from different countries come in.
Probably like
it's tomorrow already.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow morning, maybe.
So Emma said, I started following Weed 'em and Reap when Alumna was brought hope from them. I want Nigerian dwarfs so bad. They are pretty good. We're glad we switched.
Like I will tell you, they are almost the laughingstock of the dairy community, and I hate it. And I will fight with people tooth and nail every time I can. But it's just because like
they're hard to keep in pens. They're so tiny.
Obviously,
like, opposite boars. Like boars, they'd knock down.
They would just like demolish a fence. Where these guys are like, I can get my head through. So
like Rosie, like we had that when we were talking about the incident earlier. She's getting out of a hole that is like.
I don't know how she's getting through.
Like a bowling ball.
Or I'm like, are you dislocating your shoulders to do this?
Well, like we watched her go under the gate, and she's like struggling so hard.
Like, because she gets out and she eats the grass on top of the septic.
She's well rounded,
Like where the septic lines run and the grass is still green and lush. Like she goes out there and noms.
Yeah.
So she's got like this fat belly, and it looks painful. Yeah. Looks super painful.
And it looks like we're hurting things with our car when we pull in the driveway because she's out, we beep, she runs back. So do a bunch of chickens and turkeys. Yeah. So now when we pull in, they follow. But the mailman came the other day, And I went out to get the package, and she's like, "Oh God!" And I look, and here comes the turkeys and the chickens, like a herd coming around.
Like,
yeah,
who's here?
it looked like you remember Jurassic Park when all those dinosaurs come and they have to hide it behind the log. That's what it looked like with our chickens.
Yeah, the Gallimimus were all like running. They're like, "Get down!"
Yeah.
But it was with our chickens.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Adrian
you
said,
know the struggle, Adrian.
It's
it's like, I need to get a new angle on this poop scooping.
I think you can do it artistically.
There's nothing artistic about poop.
No. Tinker's wife said, "Oh man, Homestead, I can relate. I lost to Tinker only a few months after I started my channel in 2019.
I don't know how you do it, ladies. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it."
Adrian said, "I'm surprised how tough the watch hours are. I mean, I realize that's a lot of time, but it is rough."
That's the truth. Like when they said 4,000 watch hours, I'm like, I'm entertaining. That'll happen in no time. And here I am almost here, and I'm like, oh, so far away. Mark's like, yeah, you just gotta live with her.
He said, "I do watch more lives and regular content. I make time for them. I use the rest of my time to edit my content. But I feel I like the lives do make me more interested in people's regular content."
It does. I feel like because you make that connection personally, where it's not just like the edited, cut up information give. Because I hate that when I cut up when I'm giving information, because you try to cut it as like precise as you can, but I'm like, they know I cut here, so they're gonna try. When it's me, I'm like, what did you cut out? What did you not want me to hear? I'm a conspiracy theorist. Is there something important you didn't want me to know that you had to cut out? But that's just me. I know a lot of people aren't like that, but it drives me nuts.
Here you go. Here's one you can read.
Dang, that's a big word there. Anthropomorphize. Yes, I know, but I did it. I did it.
Yeah.
It was
I might
one of my
have a better
things.
chance of pronouncing that than cray or any of the new hip words.
Cray.
Yeah.
It's just funny watching him read cray.
Ogop said, "I'm fine. How are you two? It's 4:35 a.m. at my place. How about?"
Wow, you are an early riser.
So yeah, it's 8:30 p.m. here.
Yeah.
So wow, 4:35. Man, you are up early.
Yeah. Yep. You're a full 8 hours ahead of us. Why are you awake? Go back to bed. At 4:35.
You can go back to bed after our live.
The only reason I get up that early is to deer hunt, because it's like you just have to get out there before sunrise.
Oh, hello, Morris Patch.
Hey there, Morris Patch of Heaven.
Homestead.
You poor thing. You always try to read all of it.
I know.
My husband is so good. He tries to read these things for me. He does a great job.
Hey, if they're like you, sometimes I know during lives you're like working on something. So when they read your comment, it helps if they get your name.
He's so good to me.
The Tinker's wife said it was a good Christmas. Got the flu, so was alone again. They connected via phone. Was on lives that day, so it was good. So different than last year. Yeah, it was a different Christmas.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you were feeling icky. That's like the worst around holiday, especially now because there are so many medical and physical barriers with the C word. And it just, that sucks that you had the flu on top of it, because that just.
Or you get choked and you try to cough and you get stared at too.
Well, you deserved it.
Adrian laughing about how cocky we were when we started. Man, what a breeze. I'm dang entertaining.
I know. Isn't that ridiculous when you start? And then, like, when I first started editing and, like, talking to the camera, I'm like, this is weird. This is not as easy as they make it seem. But I hope I'm getting better.
Adrian said you should cut out long pauses. Or you're like Ashley, you know, start hearing her scream like, dang it. And she thought the camera was on. And then started recording when, like, she was done. And then
it even beeps. The button beeps, so I should know like when I'm recording and when I'm not.
Although the other day, remember, it switched to voice command, and then
I switched to voice command, and it must have picked up on something I said and thought I said stop recording for some reason, and it stopped, and I was like, only 10 minutes of the 20-minute session recorded.
It was with all of us too, and we're like, are you for real?
Yeah, it was bad.
Emma said, I like getting to know people in lives. You get a little more of their personality unfiltered.
You do. I totally agree with that. I just want to know how to get, not this,
especially in our content, because I sort of linger in the background and just make sarcastic comments.
Well, he makes weird noises.
Yeah.
He made another one.
Another one?
You did. So we were making our craft for the Christmas gnomes, and he made a very provocative noise in the background. It was provocative.
It was just a gasp.
A gasp. essential gas that I don't know what he was doing. He said he was I don't know what he was doing.
A very good candy bar or something.
Then we were filming for our America shoot, and like he's walking through these trees, and he did it there too. And I'm like, why can you not?
I can't help the sound effects I make.
Don't make these
unconsciously
bad noises just out in public.
To add to that, I have a bad tendency because my mind is constantly going. I can't sleep at night very well because I like to turn up all night. But I have a bad thing to do in public is I'll repeat people randomly just because I'm thinking about something else and I
can't wait till we're like in the roughest part of town and someone will say something like when we were dating, like these rough guys were like, what are we going to be doing this weekend, gentlemen? And he's like, what are we going to be doing? Like, shut up.
I've gotten better about it, but I still have my tendencies once in a while. It's just like when I'm thinking about something else, I'll just repeat like what I heard.
He hasn't, but luckily nobody's ever heard. And if they did hear, they're like, man, that guy is crazy enough to repeat me back to myself.
Make fun of myself and get away with it. Who knows?
No.
So, hold on, you lost me in comments. I'll
just keep going down.
Keep going down. All right. So
right here.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, still trying to kick the flu. Been migrating in from. Ooh, that sounds awful.
That's the worst.
Hoping it'll be gone by Friday. Hope you feel better. Yeah, that's
the worst. This.
And then Crazy Life Homestead Archer. No deer this year. Building going on 3 sides around us this year. Most bedding areas gone. Oh.
Ain't that the worst?
So our hunting spot, like they started logging it, and for a while the deer.
3 years ago they logged it, and like for 3 years it was scary. Like when we had normal traffic all the time, like we were in a good travel corridor between bedding and feed, like year round.
Since they stopped and like a lot of the undergrowth came back, actually now we're seeing more.
This year it was great.
So hopefully their paths will start coming through again, or
after big windstorms, we find like our patterns will change a lot, and usually if we give it like a year, it's fine. But when that's the only meat that you harvest outside of like, chickens or whatever else you're growing, that whole like, there's always next year, just sometimes is not, it doesn't go well. So Josie got her first buck this year, and we were super proud of her. And I've been out bow hunting since like October 1st. Now I've stopped after gun season because literally here after gun season, forget it. Like, unless you're like in these really, really remote areas, but where we're at, there's a lot of pressure at gun season, and like the deer just go away. So I had 2 misses archery wise and 1 miss gun wise that I just didn't show you guys because it's not very exciting when you miss.
I slept all day. Now wait, are you Americans? What state do you live in?
Yes, we are Americans.
Americans / Hoosiers.
Yes, so Hoosiers, like in America, every state has like, we're in the Hoosier state, like
Ohio's
which is Indiana.
Buckeyes, where I grew up and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we're Americans. We live in Indiana, which is in the Midwest, and it's cold here right now, but not like Russia cold. You guys get really cold there though, right? So we're nowhere near as cold as you guys.
Tinker's wife said, I agree with that. Comments on videos are fine. Seeing videos where it gives a picture of the person, but lives are great. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
I really look forward to at some point hitting that mark where I can go live on mobile, because I love to take you guys out like with my goats while I'm interacting with them, because they are a hoot, and I feel like that doesn't come across very well like in my videos. Morris Patch of Heaven said, have you ever tried magnesium like Epsom salt for migraines? You've done Epsom salt quite a bit, yeah. Turmeric helps me a lot. Muscles, but turmeric helped me when I had that hand cramp, right? Carpal. Well, I had hand cramps from milking, and then I also had plantar fasciitis in my foot for like a year. And turmeric was like the only thing that would like put a dent in that at all. But Epsom salt is fantastic. Well, thank you, Morris Patch of Heaven. We like to think so. Yeah. We try. We're hilarious or crazy, one of the two. Yeah. And you're too kind, thank you. 2 Quacks and 5 Clucks says, we are halfway to the 4K hour mark and 350 subs away. But patience and consistency is all you can do. Yes, as long as you enjoy it, that's what means most. Yeah. I mean, I could remind Ashley and keep pushing her, like, hey, this is also good content for like our daughter later down the road and family. Yeah, like, and just sort of chronicle how like our family watches pretty religiously. Yeah. They're like, they'll call me like, I just saw what happened. Yeah. It's like, oh that's so neat.
Same with people at work. Like people at work all of a sudden say something. I'm like, oh yeah.
Which is weird because like I will share a lot of my YouTube to like my personal Facebook account, and like I'll have people come up at work and be like, so I saw you missed 2 deer. How did that make you feel? I'm like, how do you think it made me feel? But it's fun.
Or Patch of Heaven said our boys love to make all kinds of gross noises as well. Yep,
Is
it's a boy thing.
He was walking, he's like, oh. I'm like, could you not do that? I don't want to edit it out. So the last time I left it and I replayed it over and over and over until he was like, could you just stop? I'm like, no, this is great. I can't wait to hold this over your head at like family gathering.
Yep. Crazy Life said, I hope we don't go through that next year with hunting, with the building and all that.
Yeah. Hopefully it slows down, but they are so resilient. I mean, seriously, deer, like whitetail deer in our area, are amazing. They really are. They're fantastic.
And Crazy Life said, what bow do you use?
So I use a Carbonite by Bowtech. It's a 60 to 70 pound draw. It's compound. But he does have he has a crossbow that I keep telling myself like I should, because like anything outside of 35 yards, I'm probably not going to shoot at with much confidence. But with a crossbow, I could easily shoot out 50, 60 yards. And that's usually where all the big bucks like to stay out at when I have a compound bow. It's like they know.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make a shot like this.
Hey,
Isaac, how are you?
Glad you can make it. More Patch of Heaven said, try putting the magnesium oil all over the back of your neck and the bottom of your feet and on your temples.
I've not tried magnesium oil for anything like that. That's interesting. Well, Adrian, I don't know. You need to look it up. I just know what like Indiana and Ohio are
called. I don't know.
Oregonians.
What
is your state? So like we're the Hoosier state, and then
that makes me think. Remember Small Soldiers? They had the Oregon or whatever.
Oh yeah. He loved Small Soldiers growing up with Chip Hazard and Archer.
So one thing I always try to look at when I'm trying to figure out if a state has one,
Farm, good to have you.
Is the local universities and colleges. Like they they use like Oklahoma Sooners and stuff like that.
So like Ohio State University is Buckeyes.
Yeah. Indiana
Hoosiers.
Yeah. Yep. So stuff like that. So yep. Hey, so
how are you guys doing over in Australia?
Oh, 2 Quacks and 5 Clucks says I was born in South
Were you really?
Indiana.
Well, awesome. See, like we're right below Richmond, Indiana. So like right off of 40 that goes all the way into Dayton, all the way across there.
No, the Tinker's wife said my brain will not let me crochet or knit. So
which is awful because that's probably something you do to take your mind off of things like migraine.
Yep.
So that sucks. You can StreamYard. You're right, Adrian. I can StreamYard on my phone. You're right. Why do
you goon? I know that word.
See, he sounded fluent when he said goon, didn't he? Like it wasn't like when he's like, and it's cray.
Anybody else ready for 2021? Yep, I think everybody.
I am ready. Yep. I'm interested to see what it brings, but like I have so many people that are like, goodbye 2020. I'm like, well, it's not all going to stop. It's not going to be like done new, but it is really nice to look at.
We're starting to look at some of the projects.
And for us, like as homesteaders, it's awesome because like when we go through winter, we get that time to plan all of our new projects. So then whatever goes on outside of the world, I hate to say it, like I do use my homestead to bury my head in the sand on a lot of things because I can't take it mentally.
Yeah, like I've said, I live in the city of Bryansk. And it is 349 kilometers south of Moscow.
I'm going to have to figure out how much kilometers that is to miles.
Moscow's a cold place, I thought.
Yes.
Too, so
yes.
Maybe being a little more south.
So Moore's Patch of Heaven. They are in Midwest Missouri. That's someplace I've always wanted to visit.
Yeah,
Emma, are you in Missouri?
We always want to go to Branson.
Emma says Missouri here as well.
Yep. We always wanted to try Branson. We haven't been to Branson
yet. Everybody tells us we'd love to go there, but
we like bluegrass. I heard that's
we do like bluegrass. We like country and things like that.
Crazy Life said, I've been ready for my mother to knock me into 2021 like she promised me years ago. I think we all could.
Isn't that funny how you're like, if someone just knocked me into next year?
I saw something the other day. It was like, what was it? Bad luck if you cook chicken on the New Year's, and it's better if you cook pork. Because if chicken
we're
stretch
having
backwards,
pork on New Year's Day,
so it makes you like think backwards, and if you eat pork, fish you eat forward. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look into that because that's kind of interesting. We are eating pork. If anybody's interested to know what we're eating on New Year's Day.
Homesteading,
It must be a boy thing because like I'm sitting here like, could you not do that? Because then I have to edit it out.
And then 2 Quacks and 5 Clucks said, that's how I see it too. Something our kids can look back on and watch the good old days with mommy and daddy.
There's something super romanticized about that where I'm like, I hope that when I'm old and gray and I'm like, what is the YouTube's doing now? That she can look back and be like, well, look, Mom, you were on there. So
definitely. And air temperature plus 3 degrees Celsius at my place now. Oh, wow. So Celsius, 0 is 32. Yeah, that's a little bit above freezing. Yeah. So
still cold.
Yeah.
Ooh. A Matthews Avail. I like Matthews because it's like they are just so. Every time I look at the price tag, I'm like, I would like to, but I just can't. But my Bowtech was back in the day when I first bought it. It was expensive, so I guess it just kind of depends.
They still make it. So it's still a new model.
Yeah.
So Park Farm said I'm in Australia.
Are you guys still going through a drought? I know the last time I checked in on you guys, you're going through a drought. And I love that your lives are like in the morning because I lurk big time. I lurk all the time on yours because usually I'm driving to work or doing something in the barn in the morning. So I appreciate your lives in the mornings. Mark wants to have like a belly shirt that he's been seeing these people rock in Indiana and Ohio.
That would definitely push people to quit watching. Same place, Homestead. We're up north from you, outside of Columbia. Okay. Missouri.
That's pretty cool.
So
yeah, get him.
Isaac said, do you have any tips to get goats ready to walk around for 4-H? That I might want to use. Don't like being led around. Some of them have that personality. They just are stubborn. But
I had a doe.
Persistence.
Now Joe is still, if you're going to milk them, Isaac, the best thing is like milk stand training because like they look forward to that relief in the morning. If you're doing dairy, if you're using like Honey or Harmony in their bread, I found that when I started milk stand training my does and physically going and getting them every day, like they would stand for the collar because they knew milk stand needs breakfast. And then I would take them for a walk, or I would walk them around the long way of the barn to the milk stand. Now I do have one doe. She walked fantastic for Josie 1 year in 4-H. And then last year it was like, what has possessed you? Why are you doing this? But consistency and patience. They are a pressure and release type deal too, just like horses are. So like if you're jerking them forward, which you always keep the pressure upwards, you don't pull them forwards or back. It's like keeping them up because if they can get a hold of their head, they're going to take you anywhere they want. So if you can keep their head controlled, you're fine. But when they start moving, you ease up on your pressure so they get it into their mind. If I'm forward moving when I have this collar on, it's not tight. And if they fight, it gets tighter. So
there you go. The more
consistency
you know.
And treats, even though you can't have treats in most show rings, treats are fantastic too when you're getting them used to it.
That's how she trained me. So
keeping it
still at Park Farm said just getting lunch ready.
Ooh, what's for lunch? Do tell.
Evelyn says, so does that make me a Longhorn or an Aggie? I don't even know what an Aggie is.
I think
technically.
You guys are the Longhorn state, aren't you? No, you're the Lone Star state.
Yeah.
Texas. So you're a loner.
Texans, like the football, the
Texans.
pro football team.
I think Texas is the Lone Star state, and New Jersey is the Garden State. I only know a certain handful, and Florida is the Orange. Is it the Orange State? Because they're orange. Oranges.
Florida Gators.
No, you're thinking like college teams. I'm thinking like their actual given.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Floridians.
The Floridians.
So Morse Patchahoma, we were hoping to have a meetup in the spring or summer. Hopefully you can come at Sunny's place. Ooh, that sounds like fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
216. Well, Emma, thank you so much because
it
was like in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna have to look this up later.
Yeah. How far south that is. So Park said 2020 hasn't been great, but we've learned a lot and got through it, and have lots of exciting plans for 2021. I think a lot of people are sort of using
and
that
I feel
as
like
a springboard.
If things go back to normal, which this is landscape changing, things will never be like they were, but when they kind of go back to normal, I feel like people are going to really understand like what we took for granted. which is good because like my kid's spoiled rotten.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait for her to get back on the softball field.
I'm staying in Idaho. Said pigs move forward, chickens scratch backwards. So that's where I come from.
Yeah.
And it said we are yanking out a ham for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, not doing black-eyed peas and ham.
Overdone on that.
I like that.
Oh, they need to meet it.
Hold on, what's this one? So my nickname in English is Oscar Zoroaster. That's cool.
Okay, that's neat.
Crazy Life said I started with a diamond till I got to 55 pounds. Hubby said 55 pounds with a new bow of your choice. Oh, that's cool. Diamonds
I like
are
that.
Nice too.
Yeah, diamonds are super nice.
I think they're
diamonds are a Bowtech.
Yeah, aren't they the single cam
aren't
version?
they? Yeah, I think they're the single cam.
At least they used to be. I can't remember. Shooting so much bow. It's a nice place. We picked up a few pounds of hog jaws from our local butcher, so that's what we're having for New Year's. So I don't think everybody's ready to move forward. Everybody's like,
looking forward to
chicken.
it. Yeah, I never knew that.
So at Park Farm, I think it's more because 2020 everybody wants to get rid of it. So everybody eat pork.
Everybody's doing the super.
So Park Farm said, "Yep, still in a drought, but we've actually got some rain around, so they have the grass growing and tanks filling. It's wonderful." That's
I know how stressful that can be. Like we're nowhere near in our like rainy or drought season here in Indiana, but I know how hard it can be. Like when you're pulling your hair out, like my plants are dying and I can't keep them watered enough. So I'm glad to hear that for you.
I'm staying in Idaho, so if you walk the goat with a butt rope, like teaching cows and horses to lead, it helps. We also teach goats to lead with treats and with someone behind them pushing them forward. Yep.
See, I learned the hard way. I had to grab their tail. Yep. And that's never fun because they don't like it. But butt rope. It's like butt rope.
Concentrated on the important word out of that.
Yeah.
That's
and some of them learn differently. I found some don't like the collars, but if you put the halter on with the collar, they get the whole. This means move forward.
I'm saying if I am on my own and I have a real troublemaker goat that won't walk, I reach around behind him with a light touch from a stick or a whip, not hitting them, just a tap and they move forward. Yeah, they don't like stuff behind them.
That. Yeah.
So, Oscar said, "Guess the riddle. My avatar plus my nickname equals." Do you know this? You're always good with riddles. You should see her in those escape houses. She starts like ramming people and knocking them down to get out.
I do not do that, but then like if it's getting close to time, I'm like, we're not gonna get out. We're not gonna get out.
Tone her down a bit.
Yeah, we're just like, it's okay. They're going to let us out at the end if we make the time or not. I'm not sure.
Evelyn said
loner. It fits. I've been accused of being a loner too, Evelyn. It's okay. I'm gonna have to think about this, Oscar.
Yeah, the riddle. And then just sandwiches for lunch. Been overindulging with Christmas food, so keeping it simple. Yeah, the leftovers.
I know. We know. Yeah. Candy has been rampant in our house, and like I am constantly eating like little Snickers or Reese's all day long with energy drinks. Yeah. It's been bad.
You need to keep moving.
New York Empire State, sweet.
Yeah. You're getting all these you're gonna start making them up.
I don't know. I only know a couple of them because like I remember like back in 8th grade we had to do like crossword puzzles with them. We had like different quizzes. I don't know. I can't be responsible for all of your state names.
Are we College the Center, State? The Mizzou.
Sorry, but for me, my mind automatically goes somewhere bad, Adrian. I'm like, I hope not.
You're getting all this. Probably the Oregon State Beavers or the Ducks. Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, Oregon Ducks. Yep. You're the Duckers, the mother Duckers.
We're going to have to do a video on everybody's states.
That would be fun.
Then people get offended by.
I know. I don't want to offend people, but then that's sometimes you can't help it.
So Miss July, I thought it was a 6-hour time. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of time.
Yeah. But her bird was going. I was in the car while I was listening to your live, Sweet Pea. He was driving, so I was talking like I wasn't texting and driving or anything like that. But like your bird started going, and I was like, "Where is that coming out of the radio?" And Mark's like, "It's coming out of your phone." Yeah. I'm like, "Oh,
I'm driving, and I have to keep the entire car under control." The other day, she was talking to my daughter in the back seat, and what you call her? You said, "You're a bottomless pit."
I said she's a bottomless pit, but when she repeated it back to me, I heard bottle of spit. I'm like, what are you talking about? A bottle of spit?
Yeah, that's
I thought she was gonna spit in my drink.
Yeah, she's like, "Give me your drink. I'm gonna spit it." And neither one could figure out what was going on. Chaos everywhere. I'm driving, and I have to interpret for both of them.
And he's like, "You said bottomless pit." She heard bottle of spit, and that's why she said it back. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Adrian, yes, Google agrees the Beaver State.
Beaver
so
State.
You can say, leave it to Beaver.
Leave it to Beaver. Yes.
The show me state.
What are we showing?
Sounds a little racy there.
Hey, David Outdoors. I don't know what you logged into, but this is what's happening.
Yeah. We're coming up with nicknames for people's states. More Special Heaven said we are the show me state here in Missouri.
Yeah, try to get to the bottom because we're going to have to wrap it up because Adrian's premiere for her new channel is getting ready to start in 18 minutes.
Yep. So
we're just trying to get through. I am very
mature. And Silhouette Park Farm said 3 years of drought and the pandemic has been hard, so it's a welcome relief. We were walking around with big smiles on our faces. The farm looks beautiful.
I am so glad to hear that. But isn't that so like life, though? You go through those long droughts, and then when you finally get a bit of rain, you're like, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So
got to celebrate those wins, whether it's rain after a long drought or not.
Home saying, hi to us. I learned from a breeder and judge of meat goats never to pull in a tail actually damages the goat in the muscle. They can detect that show ring.
Really?
Dairy goats can
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Because that was towards like just grab a tail and pull it up towards the head.
Almost about carried some by that thing.
There we go.
David said, high taxes in New York. I don't know if that's a good name, tax state.
Yeah.
And Tinker's wife said, ate too many shortbread Christmas cookies. Yeah, we've been indulging in the desserts. Yes.
So yeah, it's been terrible. I feel like crap around this time of year because of all the food.
Oh, so Oscar said, answer the Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Okay. I get it. Okay.
That's pretty cool. I always appreciate it. Somebody can put together like an avatar and a nickname. So I'm saying Idaho said, I made butter spritz cookies, like way too many. And this has been my favorite too much in our house.
Mm-hmm. We have been there. I think we're going to wrap it up, though, guys. I want to give Adrian enough time to have us all kind of transfer over there to hers because I think it's going. I think
state channel there.
That we're going to let you live it down now.
No.
We got the show me state with them, and then we got the Beaver state with Adrian. I know now why you guys get along
Hoosier
so well.
doesn't sound so bad.
Who's your daddy? I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off, guys. Thanks so much for being here. We will be here again. Oh, Hat Creek Homestead, I'm sorry. We let our comments get away from us.
Yeah.
We were not good tonight, but we really appreciate everybody being here. Be sure to go over to Adrian Rose's channel and check out her premiering video on 3 realistic resolutions for your YouTube channel. We'll see you over there. But until next time, guys, we will see you here again next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
And the broadcast. Did you end it? You didn't end it.
No.
We're still here.